O God. Give heed to my prayer in verse 1. But this ain't one of them prayers that we use at mealtime. Good bread, good meat. I'm a Baptist, now let's eat. I ain't one of them kind of prayers. But when he says cry, he means wailing. He means moaning. He means shrilling voice. He means that he's lost it. He's beyond himself is what he's saying. And David is in a strange place because he says, what? From the end of the earth I call you. And understand, in Jewish mindset, that Jerusalem was the center of the universe. So anywhere away from Jerusalem was the end of the earth. Because in Jerusalem was the city of God, where God dwelt. Therefore, David said, I'm in a strange place. I'm in a distant place. I feel far from people and far from God. And also, he shows us, he lets us eavesdrop on his emotional status. Because he says in the text, guess what? My heart is faint. King James says it's overwhelmed. Message translation says that I'm down to my last gasp. It means that David, in this state of writing this psalm, he is empty. He is exhausted. He is emotionally spent. He is at a place right now in which he never thought he would be. Everything you think when you think about David's greatness and David's grandeur and the strong, mighty man of God and David taking down things. No, David now is a broken man. And he says that my heart is faint. I'm hurting and I'm empty. I'm exhausted. I'm in excruciating pain. He's emaciated spiritually. But I thank God that just when he's at the end of his rope, just when you thought that all would be lost, like for many of you watching me right now, David now makes a pivot. And David makes a plea that will allow him to live on the next level. David makes a move in this text that brings him out of the pit. It's the prelude to coming out of the pit because he made a move. Look what he says. Lead me to the rock that is higher than I. Oh, my goodness. Don't just gloss over that. Because there's a lot in that right there. That could be the message right there. Look what he said. First he said, lead me. The implication is I can't get there by myself. David said, I can't come out of this. I can't do it by myself. Lead me, oh God. I can't get there by myself. But also he said, lead me to the rock. He didn't say a rock, because any old rock won't do. No. He said, I need the rock. There's only one rock. I need that rock. But also he says that's higher than I. I like that. Because remember, David's the king. And in the people's mindset, nobody's higher than the king. David says, I'm not falling for the okie doke. I am not going to go out like that. Because David says, I know there's somebody who's higher than my crown. There's a king over the king. And David is saying, I want you, God, to lead me to you. God is David's rock. In the midst of instability and uncertainty and changing times, David is saying there is a rock that you can count on that brings stability and security and status and significance. He said the only sure thing in life is this rock. And I'm trying to tell somebody today, in this crazy, crazy, crazy world, the only sure thing is the rock and the rock of our salvation. However, in order to benefit from the rock, David has to bow down. David has to decrease that the rock may increase. David has to go down that the truth of the rock can come up. What are you saying, preacher? I'm saying simply this. You got to set aside your pride. That so many times